So let's start with the question. Jellyfish and Tricolor Pansy. Jellyfish and Flower are playing a game called Duel. Jellyfish has A HP while Flower has B HP. Let's write these information. Jellyfish has A HP and Flower has B HP. Each of them has a knight. Jellyfish's knight has C HP, so C HP, and while Flower's knight has DHP. They will play a game in rounds until one of the players wins. For K, 1, 2, in this order they will perform the following actions. If K is odd, Jellyfish knight is alive. That means Jellyfish knight can attack Flower and reduce B by 1. Okay. If B less than equal to 0, Jellyfish wins, or Jellyfish knight can attack Flower's knight and reduce D by 1. If D is less than equal to 0, Flower's knight dies. Then if K is even, Flower's knight is alive. Flower's knight can attack Jellyfish and reduce A by 1. If A is less than equal to 0, Flower wins, or Flower's knight can attack Jellyfish's knight and reduce C by 1. If C is less than equal to 0, Jellyfish's knight dies. Okay, so let's understand this question. So it's saying that there is a game in which there are two players, Jellyfish and Flowers. Okay, so basically they have their own horsepower or HP, whatever that is. It's A and it's B. Okay, now they have knights C and D, which will reduce the HP of GF and F respectively. Like GF's knight will reduce B's power 1 by 1, and Flowers will reduce Jellyfish's power 1 by 1. Okay, so that's how the game goes. Okay, so for K is equals to 1, 2, in this order they will perform the following actions. For example, when first turn will be of Jellyfish, so Jellyfish will play its turn. It will do this either or this move. Okay, next the second will be by Flower and the third will be by Jellyfish. Odd numbers will be Jellyfish and even number will be Flower, and so on. The game will go until the game is completed. Okay, one of them loses and there is no draw. Okay, the game will never end in draw. So we have to tell which player will win. Either it will be Flower or Jellyfish. And to understand how the game is working, let's see the first test case. Okay, so first test case is 1, 2, 3 and 4. So Jellyfish's power would be A, that is 1, and its knight's power is C, that is 3. So we have to take this into consideration that A and C are the respectively the powers of Jellyfish. The Flower, it's B and D. B is the power of Flower and D is the knight's power of Flower. Okay, so how the game will go when K is equals to 1, that is it's the first turn. Okay, so it's odd, that means Jellyfish will play. Okay, so Jellyfish's knight will attack Flower because this is the minimum value, right? B, which is the power of Flower, has the minimum value. Okay, so optimal would be to attack flower. Okay, so B becomes 1, D is 4 because the knight has not been attacked by jellyfish, and A remains same and C remains same. Okay, now when K is equals to 2, what is the optimal thing that flower could do? Okay, so flower also has 1 power left in it, right? So what's the most optimal thing? That B attacks, flower attacks jellyfish, so its power will become 0, right? A be 0 and C remains 3 because the knight hasn't been attacked. B is 1 and D is 4. Now as A is equals to 0, jellyfish loses, so flower wins here. Okay, so that was how the first test case worked. Okay, now let's see the next test case. A, B, C and D. It's 100. Let's write it like this. It's not B, it will be C and it will be B, so that we can segregate flower and jellyfish. Okay, so the value of C will be A, B, C, right? 1, 1. B's value is 999 and D's value is also 1. Okay, so as K is equals to 1, it's jellyfish's turn. So what is the most optimal thing that jellyfish can do is attack its knight, right? As flower's knight is attacked, the power of its knight becomes 0. Okay, and B is as it is, that is the power of flower, and the power of jellyfish A is 100 and B and C is 1. Okay, so now when K becomes 2, that is it's the second turn, F cannot attack jellyfish. Why? Because the knights are only supposed to attack each other. Okay, so if there is no power left in knight, that means that it cannot attack its opponent. So what that means is flower is defeated and jellyfish wins. Okay, so what did we see here is we are only taking the minimum of the two values, right? Because it's easier to defeat. Okay, so here flower wins. Here flower wins in the first test case, jellyfish wins, right? Here jellyfish wins because flower is defeated. Okay, so in the next test case, let's see. A is 12, C is 13, B is 14 and D is 11. So here it's jellyfish and it is flower. Okay, so first turn would be of jellyfish. So what are we considering? The minimum of the two values. So 12. When flower will attack, it will attack the minimum powered value. Okay, and here it's 11. Okay, so what are we observing in all these test cases is that the lower value, the minimum of the two values is compared, and one which is lower is defeated. So here flower will be defeated and jellyfish will win. Let's check it. First, second, third, fourth. First, second, third and fourth. So fourth test case, jellyfish wins and flower is defeated. Okay. Now what happened when the minimum of both was 1 in the second test case? In the second test case where both, this is the second test case, right, where both the minimums was 1 and 1, it so happened that the player which played first won. Okay, so what are the two observations that we saw in this question? First was take minimum power for two players. Second is compare minimum powers and the third thing is least power loses. One more thing, which is when minimum are equal, then the player who plays first wins. Right, and in this case it's the jellyfish. Okay, so we have to consider these things in order to solve this question. So I hope you understood the approach. Let's see the code. Okay, so these are the values of A, B, C, D being entered, right? And we take power 1 as the minimum of A and C, which is for jellyfish. As we take the minimum for flower as well, which is P2, which would be minimum of B and D. Okay, now if P1 is greater than or equal to P2, that means jellyfish wins. And why equal to? Because jellyfish has the first turn. So in the case where P1 is equals to P2, jellyfish will win, else flower wins. So that's the solution of this problem. I hope you understood it. Any doubts you can put in the comment section, and I hope you understood the way solution. Thank you.